Hey guys. Okay, I think I have everything all set up. I'm going to try and make sure that I don't get a network interruption this time. So, as I said before, I decided to go live at 10 a.m. Central, and I thought we would take a look at the workshop that I posted as of yesterday. So, here's a look at we're going to take a look at my Chelsea Gardens card workshop. And I love the way these turned out. When I saw the papers, I knew that it would make a great card workshop, especially in conjunction with the Chelsea Gardens card making stamp and thin cuts. The images are beautiful. And when I saw them, I thought that it would lend itself to a really muted, romantic kind of workshop. So this is what I put together. So my card workshop creates a total of 24 cards, 2 of 12 designs. So I'll just take you for a quick walkthrough of the files and what they look like. So if you were to purchase the workshop files, you would get these to your inbox. So there's a cover page, which is just an illustration of all of the cards all together. There's the supply list. So this is what you need to complete the whole workshop. And as I said, it's 24 cards. So it's 12 cards, 2 of each design. And I'll go through the supplies while I have this here. So for your 24 cards, you will need only half a package of the Chelsea Gardens paper. So that is the one Picture My Life piece of paper, and then one piece of the others. So you still have half a pack left over after to use for something else. So you can either make another set of cards or make a few scrapbook pages. So you would only use half the pack of paper for the 24 cards, plus a couple pieces of white cardstock and a couple pieces of mink cardstock. The white cardstock's really only used to cut out your thin cuts and for your sentiments. And the gray is mostly used to matte the sentiments, but in a few other accent parts too. So that's the paper you would need. Also, so that's the Chelsea Gardens paper pack, half of it, 2 pieces of mink cardstock, a couple pieces of white. Then there's the cream ribbon, which is beautiful, and that coordinates with the whole Chelsea Gardens collection. It's like a fabric ribbon, and you would need a whole roll for the workshop. On top of that, there's the Chelsea Garden gems, and there's 3 sheets of those. So one of the sheets is marbled, and then the other 2 are these are more like a gem, and then these are flatter dots in the glacier and the black. And then there's some sparkles used too. And then the Chelsea Gardens stamp and thin cuts. I thought I would show you. So this is what the stamp set looks like. So I really liked the black outline, but thought it would look awesome colored. So there we go. So I did all my coloring. I stamped with Memento ink, and then did all my coloring with our ink pads. So if you squeeze your ink pad gently, you end up with ink in the top. And so all you have to do is, I actually have it here. Okay, I'm going to try and, I normally stand up. I'm going to try and sit down and still stay on camera. So if you just take your water brush and dip it in the top of your ink pad And then you can actually just paint right onto your stamped image, however much or little you want, and you get that nice watercolored effect, but it still completely coordinates with the paper pack. You can also use re-inker. So on my block here, I have just like a super small drop of re-inker, and you can either add your water and dilute it completely and then use it to paint, or just dip your brush in just slightly and then paint. I probably have way too much on right now, but... And so that's what I did with all the images. They're all painted with either re-inker or an ink pad, so that everything coordinated perfectly. So let's take a look at the card. Okay, we'll finish going through the file. So on top of your supplies that you'll need, then there's also step-by-step directions if there's anything a little bit different that you need to know. It's all pointed out in there. There's some illustrations on how to do the ink painting, and then your cutting guide, so that you end up getting all of your cards cut out of the half a pack of piece of paper. Super easy to follow. I try and make it big enough so that everybody can see. Well, I seem to have 2 copies of the supply list. And then there's large illustrations that you can follow for assembly. Let's take a look at the cards. So there are 12 different cards, as I said before, and I'm just going to point out a few things as we go through. So as you could see, all of these images are painted with the re-inker. This is Juniper, and then this is Lagoon, but you can also paint them with whatever colors you have on hand or whatever you think matches better. Here's the cream ribbon, and it ties beautifully. I have, you can see I have foam tape underneath there, so it makes it a little bit easier to tie it around this piece of paper. All of the sentiment pieces too, I pre-stamped, random stamped with the stamp from the stamp set, with various stamps from the stamp set, and they were all stamped with the Mink ink pad. It's just nice and subtle, but it just gives it a little bit something more. So for example, you can see the butterfly stamped in the background there. So that was card number 1. Here's card number 2. Again, it's painted with the re-inker or ink. And again, I have used random stamping. So there's the butterflies and the flowers on this one. And it is slightly hard to see, but once everything was dried on these images, I painted them with my clear shimmer brush, just to add a little bit of sparkle to match with the clear sparkles. So that was card number 2. This is card number 3. Again, I used the butterflies in the background because I thought it coordinated nicely with the little butterflies here. On some of the green pieces, it might be easier to see the shimmer. It's hard to kind of catch the light the right way. But so as I said, once these are dry, you can paint them with your shimmer brush. Also, there's the new Bashful shimmer brush too, which I think would be really nice on here too. I just didn't have it in time. And again, I just used all the different images on the background of this sentiment. So there's the butterfly, like the large butterfly, a flower, and the little butterfly. And now we're up to card number 5. Lots of layers, lots of dimension. And card number 6, I also used the branches and the leaves on this background. And even a little bit of the sentiment is painted with just a very, very small bit of ink. And all the sentiments can be changed for if you want more of a certain kind or more or less of a certain kind. And you could also use different sentiments. The spots that I pick, the size, is typically very easy to use different sentiments on. Here's a little bit of the cream ribbon again, just tucked underneath. A very light butterfly. I think that's probably Juniper. So that was card number 7. And as I said before, you make 2 of each of these cards. Here's number 8, just with a simple knot tied in the ribbon to give it just a different look than some of the other cards. Now this has to be card number 9. Card number 10. Again, there's just a little bit of ink added into the black outline sentiment, and a little bit of clear sparkle shimmer on top of that too. I love this little zip strip with the butterflies on it. This is card number 11, and this is a two-toned butterfly, and then again the sentiment, the image is stamped into the background. And card number 12. So as always, everything is posted on my blog, and if you need any more information, please feel free to contact me. You could send me a PM through my Facebook business page, or you can send me an email. You can find my email address on my blog also. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.